Hello and welcome to episode 168 of The Pilgrimage on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode, well, the only thing I can say for certain is that we've got a job interview with Liverpool. I'm not sure I actually want the job, and here's the reason why. So if we go into the job centre, and you'll see that Liverpool favourite for the job is Xavi. And Xavi is the current England manager, and with the club requirements for the save all ticked off, we are on the lookout for an international job. So I will do the interview, but we'll find out which one of us gets the job after the interview. Okay, here we go with the interview then, and as you can see, we're being welcomed in by Chairperson Jack Jewell. They want to discuss our plans, or their plans for the club vision, should they decide to hire me. So let's get straight into it and tell them it's great to be here, and let's get started. So can you tell me why managing at a number of clubs, as you have done, is a good thing? I've seen everything there is to see. I've considerable reservations about the fact you've shown a tendency to spend only a short amount of time at a club. Why has that been the case so far in your career? I've been successful, so I'll say I've never been nervous to move around if I felt it would benefit my career. The fact I'm attending this interview vindicates my approach. Are you able to say why you've moved between clubs quite so often? I've been ambitious, and when an opportunity arose for me to further my own prospects, I've felt obliged to take it. Why have you felt it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs whilst employed by another team throughout your career? I feel that's acceptable when you consider how long I've been in management. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies, citing your inability to cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? I've learned from those mistakes. You've previously been embroiled in media controversy, citing your inability to command the support of your players. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? There will be no problems with dressing room atmosphere. We value longevity at this club, and recent history shows we're prepared to give the right manager a long time to get it right. Are you prepared to give us a long-term commitment? I want to emulate the best long-term successful managers. I want to be as revered as they are. What sort of budget are you anticipating needing to put together your backroom team? I'm not going to bring anybody with me, so I don't want to make any changes. The club vision: sign players under the age of 23. Make the most of set pieces. High tempo pressing football. Defensively solid. Possession football, all good. Actionable objectives: work within the wage budget, that's fine. Develop the best youth system in the country, happy with that. Sign players to sell for a profit, that's fine. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over 33. I would prefer not to offer any at all. 2-year contracts for players over the age of 31, I'm okay with that. Minimum 4-year contract for first team players, I can get on board with that. And maximum 3-year contracts for players over the age of 29, I can agree to that. So end of 2042-43 season, they want me to win the Premier League. So no pressure there then, and continue doing so all the way through. So that's an exciting vision. Shows the club has the right level of ambition. We aren't in a position to set any expectations for you to meet for the current season. Expectations and budgets will be laid out in the run-up to next season if you're appointed. That's fine, let's move on. Do I have any requests to make? No, none that I can think of. And that concludes the interview, so I'll be back in a moment to let you know how it's gone. Okay, well, 9 days have passed since the interview with Liverpool, and I'm yet to hear back from them. The board of Newcastle, however, have come and asked me if I'd like a new contract. So, I am going to disagree with that suggestion. I want the board to improve the youth facilities. They have refused, and they're still going to offer me a new contract. So I will be back in a moment to let you know what happens next. Okay, well, it's now the 25th of June and I've still heard nothing from Liverpool, and my board have come back to me again to ask if I want to expand the available wage budget for the technical director. I'm going to accept the offer. It's completely irrelevant because I haven't got one anyway, but we will agree with that and move on. So I'll be back with an update in just a moment. Okay, it took Liverpool until the 1st of July to make up their minds that I wasn't the man for them, and they did indeed go for England manager Xavi. So let's visit the job centre and let's apply for the England job and see if we can get it. So we'll put in an application and I'll be back in a moment to let you know how we get on. Okay, well, England took until the 7th of July to come back to me, but they have come back to me with an offer, and they've offered me £105,000 a week. It's a very slight reduction on what I'm on at Newcastle, which is £110,000 per week, but I'm going to accept the offer and move on to what will hopefully be the final stage of this year's pilgrimage. So let's accept the offer and I'll be back in a moment to confirm that we are the England manager. Okay, well, the news is official. England hire Sheehan. The English Football Association have named Newcastle boss Jamie Sheehan as the new national coach. With Sheehan set to divide his time between club and country, I'm going to be resigning from Newcastle in just a moment. It remains to be seen whether a conflict of interests will emerge or whether he will cope with the additional pressures. There won't be any. As I say, I'm about to resign from Newcastle. Sheehan, 61, has accumulated 19 years of experience with the likes of Juventus and Lazio. Sheehan prefers to use a 4-3-3 DM wide formation. I certainly do. Sheehan was the subject of considerable criticism at Newcastle in 2040 following a humiliating FA Cup exit at the hands of Crystal Palace. I remember it well, and will now be hoping for a better experience upon taking up a new position. So I'll be back in a moment to show you the England fixtures that we've got coming up and to round off the episode. Okay, before we take a look at the fixtures, the FA have arranged a press conference for me to meet the media, so let's do that now and attend the press conference. So we're kicking it off with a first question from Brendan King from 442. So let's get it underway. There's a lot of pressure on national managers to hit the ground running and produce results from the off. Are you confident that you will be able to get a good start as the manager of England. I've confidence we can hit the ground running. Pressures of managing at international level are enormous, and this is reflected by the huge media interest that surrounds the team and the manager. That's a lot of pressure to handle. Are you up to it? Wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't have complete confidence. In taking this job, you add considerably to what must already be a hectic schedule. Are you confident of handling a dual role in both club and international management? I would rather not discuss this currently. I'm going to resign very shortly. Some people have suggested you may be likely to call upon some of your Newcastle players for England duty. What's your response? If I do, it won't be because of any bias, but because they're deserving of selection. You've taken over midway through England's qualification campaign for the World Cup. Are you confident you can guide them safely through to the finals? Confident, definitely. Have you had a chance to think about tactics? Will you be retaining a familiar approach? Or will you be perhaps instead come up with something brand new? I've had a lot of success with my favoured approach. No need to change it, so that will continue here. Do you not think there's a risk of things going wrong if the players with England don't fit in your preferred setup? I'm confident. Your first match is against Slovenia in the World Cup qualifiers. How well are you prepared for that sort of test first up? I'm ready for it. Casey Kusela-Gusen is widely regarded to be key to any future success that the England national team may have. With that in mind, do you intend to build your England team around him? And are you looking for ways to bring the best out of him? He's a wonderful talent. I don't really know him yet, so I can't really answer that question. There are concerns amongst the press regarding the high number of England players who are getting on in terms of age. Will you be persisting with these players, or will you be looking to blood some younger talent? I will be looking to see what players can do. It's been suggested you will be selecting your squads based more on player reputation than performance. I will select those who deserve to play. Will you be looking to change the captain or allow Luke Gillam to continue? For now, he'll remain in post. We'll see how it goes. In the modern era, players are put under greater demands by the sheer number of matches they play for their clubs. Will you be looking to develop positive relationship with other managers in order to find ways to prevent players burning out when on international duty? Of course, clubs are going to be concerned about their players. That's something I have to work with. Okay, well, that concludes the press conference. I'm now going to resign as Newcastle manager, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the forthcoming fixtures with England. Okay, there is the official confirmation that Newcastle have received and accepted my resignation. So let's have a look now at England's fixtures coming up, and as you can see, we've not got a game until September, when we will face back-to-back home games against Slovenia and Gibraltar in the World Cup qualifiers, and that is what will be coming up on the next episode. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.